Are you not paying attention to what the fuck is happening in Atlanta around Cop City? That's what you want right now? In the midst of everything, all the political crises that you're experiencing, and all the inhumane fuckery you've done to working class people in this city, you really want to try that? People literally call their bluff, like, try us. Try us. And that scared the fuck out of them. And they're going to have to hold that bag next Tuesday and basically be humbled and be like, yep, we were wrong. We're about to have a second Block the Third Precinct party, because that's literally what they're about to say next week. We're not moving forward. We won the move. People showing up and showing out during those engagement sessions, calling out the fuckery, building, strong coalitions that highlighted that this was a false choice and we demand something more that you have not provided to us, that comprehensive public safety system. City officials heard that. The mayor heard that. Because honestly, there was no need for them to do any sessions. And I told that to our city leadership. Because per our charter, Mayor Frey has authority over the police. He has authority over all our staff. If he really was about that life, he would have, with his whole chest, pulled to Atlanta. We're doing this shit. We're putting that police precinct back there. Eat shit, deal with it. Just like what he did with East Phillips. He literally said, we're putting a water facility there. Die, indigenous people. Like, literally, that's what he said. Deal with it. Eat shit. So he could have at any point been like, I'm going to do it. This was a whole unnecessary facade to act like, oh, manufacture consent. Like, we're going to engage the community, but structure in a way that gives an endorsement for what the fuck I wanted to do anyways. And people already have peeped game. He's done this one too many times. Folks call that out too, like, we already know this is manufactured consent that you're orchestrating. No. So because people like pointed out all this fuckery over the span of like several weeks while they were doing this session, we're going to get a report back from the consultants who helped facilitate all the engagement series, the survey around the third precinct next Tuesday. We just got the briefing on it yesterday that basically said, yeah, we fucked up. That's literally what it said. Like, yep, everybody made it clear. They don't want either choice. Even in the survey, there's going to be a breakdown that shows while there is a height uptick for the selection of putting it back in the old building, and I want to give credit to our George Floyd Square comrades because they pointed this out when the city did the same thing around the closure or the opening of the square. They said they're going to give you two options. Make sure you put comments of neither. Like, make sure you write that. And they did that this time around, so we get the data breakdown that says, yeah, you might see an increase because that was the manufacturer consent. Let's give them only two choices. But because people wrote in those comments, they're like, oh, but overwhelmingly people said we don't want either choice. That also came across very loud and clear in all the public engagement sessions, and that's going to be reflected. And as a result of that, the city is not well staffed, or the mayor for the administration, Frey administration, is not coming forward with any recommendations. Because if that was about their life, like with East Phillips, they'd be like, okay, so we need to authorize, demolition, start authorizing RFPs for contracts to do the demolition, all these things. Like, they would have had a whole plan rolled out for how this. They're coming back being like, actually, we don't have any recommendations, council. This is just a receive and file information for your own, purview to digest. And it's just like, yeah, because you knew. People literally said in the engagement sessions, you really think folks is just going to allow that to be rebuilt without any recourse? And now as a result of it, you have your new office of safety commissioner who originally was saying, put the police precinct back, my cops need a parking lot, they need somewhere to like store their shit. He's now coming out publicly saying, actually, I think we should turn all the precincts into full service community centers. Oh, you do? That's the action we can take on then. So that's what I'm about to bring forward next Tuesday, being like, fine, let's go ahead and convert these precincts into what Black people have been advocating for to begin with. So community members, I hope there's a several, I've been waiting, and I called, I was like, we're about to have a second Block the Third Precinct party, because that's literally what they're about to say next week. We're not moving forward. And then they're going to start with what the fuck I advocated for, of what does it look like to actually transition the original site into something that holds community purpose, that is centered by what the community wants, and to do it independently, because clearly the city don't know how to do shit without fucking it up. and trying to do ridiculous stuff. So then they're going to now move forward on the original proposal to say, let's look at what it looks like to develop the 3rd precinct into something new, something that has a community vision. So I'm excited. I'm like, again, winning the war.